Okay, hello, this is Josh Wallet, and we're talking more about resources on the internet for appraisers and review appraisers. So sometimes after USPAP, after taking a look at a HUD handbook, after taking a look at maybe a Fannie Mae selling guide, we still have questions on maybe what is acceptable by our state board. Maybe there's some things we're wondering in how they interpret USPAP, or maybe they just have a list of common errors. Okay, so here I've gone to Oregon's Appraiser Certification and Licensure Board. You can see right in the center we have most commonly encountered USPAP violations. Let's take a look at another way of getting there. I typed in the web address, but maybe we want to just Google it. We could do something like Oregon Appraiser, whoops, I need to spell it right, and Licensure Board. Go from there. We can actually just click right on it. And you can see right here, it actually gives you the web address. And if it needs to redirect, it'll redirect it. But we can just click right on it. It'll get us right where we were. Okay, so I'm going to close out the other tab. I don't need two open. So let's go ahead and click on it. It's going to open up a PDF. It did it in another window, so I'm going to drag it over here for us to take a look at. We can see this is Oregon's, the board. The appraiser board in Oregon has issued this document on what they commonly find. Okay, so your state might find slightly different errors. They might focus on things that are a little bit different than maybe what Oregon has found. So take a look at your specific state board's website, and you can find that if you don't know what that website is just by Googling it like we just did. We could type in Colorado Board of Real Estate Appraisers or Connecticut Board of Appraisers, something like this, and we can find those board websites. But you can see here Oregon has organized it with some headings: record keeping, scope of work issues, sales history. Remember, we do need to report and analyze, right? Analyze is always that key word. Market analysis. So not providing a market analysis of sufficient depth to be believable or credible for the intended use. So sometimes the neighborhood isn't actually delineated. Maybe the relevant characteristics of that neighborhood haven't been identified and discussed. Not identifying market trends. Maybe REO and short sale properties are driving the neighborhood. Misinterpreting the 1004 MC or other market charts and graphs and information that you've included. So maybe it's very clear from it that it is an increasing market, but you checked stable and then you didn't, for example, you didn't make time and date adjustments to your comps, even though it is very clearly an increasing market. Or maybe the numbers aren't really telling the whole story, and it is in fact a stable market despite some numbers changing, but you didn't explain that. So maybe some of those intricacies and those complexities haven't actually been explained, and it might just take a few sentences. But Oregon is saying they see this error. Okay, site analysis, sales comparison section, so failing to select or support the selection of comparable sales. So maybe you've gone outside of the neighborhood, maybe you've gone large distances, but there's nothing explaining why are these good comps to use, right? Maybe you've used comps in your grid that are so very different from the subject, but there's no explanation for why you've used them. They may be the best sales out there. They may be logical for X, Y, or Z reasons, but you actually haven't cited or discussed those reasons at all. Similar thinking on adjustments. There's no support, there's no summary, there's no explanation for why the adjustments are estimated the way they are, why they are logical and reasonable. There's no explanation perhaps for quality difference and condition differences and things like this, where there's just an adjustment made, but there's no explanation. So, and the list goes on, and you can take a look for yourself. And again, check out your own states, and don't believe this video just because I am talking about it and we're looking at it right now. Check the state to see if there are updated lists and updated information from the state on what they're enforcing and what they're finding in terms of common errors, common USPAP violations. Thanks a lot.